back again with me, Grace Angela Wibowo, with ID number 1017. How are you today? We're gonna discuss about profitability analysis using return on common equity with my partner, of course, Dina Aprilinia Maharani. Dina, why did you wear that mask? Let's change. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's right. Okay, this is a little message from me to everyone who see this video. I think we shouldn't have to wear a mask or anything else that should be used by the paramedic only, because keadaannya sekarang udah langka dan kita harus memberikan kontribusi dengan cara ini, yaitu dengan cara diam di rumah aja dan gak begitu terlalu panik. Ya, kita tahu kita sama-sama khawatir, tapi di saat COVID-19 sekarang ini kita harus sama-sama melawan dan harus bekerja sama. Oke, guys? Oke, let's come back to the material and let's start. Okay. Without any further ado, let's get to the presentation. It's about profitability analysis using ROCE or return on common equity and diversified by group 2 consists of me and Dina Aprilinia Maharani. Today's content are disaggregating the return on common equity, and the second is computing return on common equity, and then assessing growth in common equity, and the last but not least, challenges of diversified. The first part, disaggregating the return on common equity. So this part gonna basically talk about why must common equity, why not the other stock like the preferred stock maybe, or firm liabilities, fixed liabilities maybe. Yeah, it's because if the creditor will get fixed return and then the preferred stock will get fixed dividend, common stock will not gonna have any fixed earnings. So the common stock will only get the residual earnings after the company paid fixed return and fixed dividends. So the shareholders gonna need the certainty or the assurance for its money in our company maybe. And then the formula is net income minus by preferred dividends. So this is not gonna talk about preferred stock, and then divided by average common shareholders equity. Disaggregating within two components here. The core components is RNOA and LEV times by spread. RNOA is operating activities and LEV times by spread is financial leverage. That basically it's talk about non-operating activities, while RNOA is talk about operating activities, of course. We will get the same ROCE if we try to compute within 3 formula here, because it's just the disaggregating atau memisahkan saja untuk mengetahui komponen-komponen intinya. Jadi sebenarnya intinya sama saja, sehingga harusnya kalau memang ROCE kita yang kita hitung benar, maka akan menghasilkan result yang sama, same result. Okay, next, this is the formula if we talk by one is LEV is talk about NFO, average NFO divided by average equity. So berapa actually the real utang atau liabilitas yang kita miliki, liabilitas jangka panjang yang memiliki beban bunga jika dibandingkan dengan ekuitas kita, ekuitas dari ya ini common equity ini. Jadi berapa sih perbandingannya? And then it's about NFO, financial liabilities minus financial assets. Yeah, we have talked this on last meeting. So why I choose a red color on NFO and NFA? Because on NFO it if it result positive number, it because the financial liabilities is bigger than financial asset. Same with NFE. If the result is positive, it means the interest expense is bigger than investment return from non-operating assets. Jadi lebih besar dari the return on atau lebih besar dari imbal baliknya, imbal hasilnya. And then spread is really determining the return on common equity, because the return on common equity is determined by the financial leverage. Financial leverage will positive if the spread is also positive. Jadi financial leverage akan menghasilkan hasil yang positif juga jika spreadnya akan juga positif. Jadi logikanya karena RNOA atau operating asset, if the operating asset is bigger than financial return atau dari pembiayaan yang dilakukan untuk asetnya itu sendiri, untuk operating asset, maka otomatis imbal hasil lebihnya dari return operating asset ini akan dimanfaatkan untuk shareholders, will use for shareholders itself, right? So that's why the return on common equity will positive if the financial leverage is positive. The financial leverage positive because the spread is positive. Jadi it very determining. And then it's net financial return, NFE, divided by average NFO. Okay, next. So why I write this NOPAT minus net income is also NFE? Because in here we can see that the NFE is one of the component to determining the net income. So if we minus the operating income or NOPAT, net operating profit after tax year, operating income, we will get the net financial expense. Okay, I think it's about part 2, computing return on common equity, the practice. Okay, we can see here we will search for the NFE first. I choose the formula NOPAT minus net income. Yeah, it's same if we use the other formula for NFE, the result will same. Yeah, we have talked about NOPAT last meeting, so we all knew the way we computing NOPAT. For year 9 in here, and then for net income for year 9 is here, $104,000, and then NFR is from the NFE divided by NFO average, net financial return, bener-bener financial return yang bersih itu 2,80%, 89%. It will get from the NFE is here below, and then divided by average of NFO. Yeah, NFO in here, year 9 and year 8 divided by 2 is the average. Okay, next. After that, we have to computing the spread. Before I have explained is RNOA minus NFR. We get here RNOA. We have talked last meeting. We got 9.995% minus 2.89% for NFR before, so it will result 7.0606%. And then we computing the leverage or LEV. it from NFO average divided by equity average. NFO average we have computing before is NFO from year 9 plus year 8 and divided by 2 is the average of NFO. And then equity average we can see in balance sheet of 9X and year 9 and year 8 plus, and then divided by 2 we got 0.64 here. And then so yeah, it will same like what I said before. If we use the first formula or the second formula from disaggregating, yeah, it will same. RNOA plus LEV times by spread, yeah, it will same result 14.46% here and here. Average common shareholders equity. Jadi so the only common equity ya, not the other equity. Yeah, I think that's all for me. And and next part 3 will explained by Dina. It's your turn. Bye.
Halo, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Dina Prelenia Marani. You could call me Dina. My ID number is 11 and 00. I'm from Group 2 in Financial Analysis X class. So right now I'm gonna explain you about the SSC growth in common equity, which is one of the sub-materials of the chapter. So there are two measurements of these sub-materials. The first one is equity growth rate and the other one is sustainable equity growth rate or SGR. So equity growth rate, first I'm going to explain you about the equity growth rate. So equity growth rate is more focused on the internal financing company and excludes external financing. So this equity growth rate drove return earning or earning retention of the company itself. So exclude financial leverage or external financing of the company. You will see on the slide, and the denominator of the measurement of equity growth rate is to compute the return earning. So this is the denominator of it, to compute the return earning, and divided by average common equity, which beginning of the year and also end of the year, and divided by 2. And we also provide you one of the example to measure equity growth rate. So based on the example, the equity growth rate is 14.9%, which it means that its current level of financing and continuation of current level of profitability. And next, sustainable equity growth rate or SGR. So on the slide, there is a formula to compute it. There is ROCE or return on equity times by 1 minus PO ratio as a return earned under new retained. And this is the example of it. SGR of the company based on the example is 14.95%. So this is the maximum growth of the equity growth rate of company without any financial leverage, without any additional debt, without any additional equity, without any external financing. So it's pure from the internal financing of the company itself. And to increase this SGR is to maximize or to improve the sales and also the revenue of the company itself. Okay, so this SGR, so the average of SGR for several years will help estimate the forecast of equity growth rate. So the changes of the forecast of equity growth rate is caused or is influenced by changes of the average of HGR for several years. And yeah, the next I'm going to explain you about the diversified. So there is diversified companies which provide different services and also products and has several segmentation of companies which produce different products and also result in different services. And in each segment of diversified company usually has varying rates of ratio or various of ratio like profitability, valuation, also rates and growth. And this is so challenge to analyze. So this data to assist the uncertainties affecting the timing and also the amount of expected cash inflow and also outflow in the future. And next, there are reporting by segment, selecting some items which should report to the company from the segment company. The first is sales, the second one is operating income, third is identifiable assets, and fourth is interest and tax expenses or benefits, special items like loss and gains, and also the last is depreciation, amortization, and so valuation. So here the percentage of we know that the segmentation has a significant or substantial of the company itself. If the company has 10% or more of the company's operating segment as a whole, so that means that the segment as significant segment. And also if the segment has at least 75% of combined sales of the segment as a whole of the company, so its segment as substantial segment of company's operation itself. And the last, I'm going to explain you about the analysis implication of segment report. There are segment data which in its analysis. So the first one is sales growth. So the analysis could analyze the factor that could change the sales growth per year, like the changes like the value, price, and also the exchange rate and appreciation, which impact the sales growth level per year. And also next, assets growth. Asset growth is more focused on the comparing capital expenditures and also depreciation. It's like one example is segment geographic or segment area. So the company should convert the foreign currency to the Asian currency. And the third or the last is profitability, which is more focused on the trends versus absolute level of the operating income to sales and also identifiable assets. So the analysis should compute the trends or the common size of these items. And this segment, the function of the segment is increase the accuracy and reduce the dispersion of earning forecast for companies. So I think that's enough about the explanation this sub-chapter of assessing the common equity and also challenges of diversified. So thank you guys for your attention. See you.
I think that's all guys from us, and thank you for listening. I hope you guys can understand what we explained before. See you on our next video. Goodbye. Stay healthy and stay home. Okay?